Alright, so the first round is done. Let's move on to round 2 and the morning phase. Okay, so in the morning phase, you first draw and resolve an event card. So we should have actually removed this beforehand. So let's now draw a new event card. Let's not forget, our chapter objective here is to take care of ourselves. At the end of the chapter, we need to have our misery lower than 2 for each character. And the chapter is actually, I think it's coming up in 2 here, events. Yeah. And as soon as you see this, this has to be taken care of. Okay, you don't get to flip it and take like another round, basically. As soon as you see this pop up, it's like it's too late. You need to have done this, okay? So for now, let's just draw an event and see what we get. Oh, wow. Okay, it's a reality impact. I believe there's only one in the game like this. Well, I mean, good. We'll get some more flavor. But first it says here, add 1 to the cold space, and let's do that. That means it's getting colder and colder in the house. Alright, so it says reality impact. Something unexpected has happened. Draw a card from the colors deck to determine the color of the script. Then reveal the top card of the events deck and check the number of that color on it. Afterwards, shuffle the event card in the appropriate chapter of the events deck. Alright, so let's get rid of that. Let's see what the next color is. We actually have to find a color. Alright, so we got all these numbers here, but we need to get the colors deck and draw a random card. Alright. Well, this is kind of nice. We see what's coming up in the next few rounds here. Add 4 cold to the space. Relatively peaceful. All right, we're getting easy. I say this, but now somebody's going to shoot us in the face. All right, let's do it. Ooh, it's red. Okay, so red, that would be entry 60, and then this card says to like shuffle this back in, you know, whatever chapter we are now. This is the only one left, so shuffle, 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 put it back. Okay, we said 60, so let's go see what that is. All right, 60. A small ginger kitten passed along our street, brushing up against objects along the way and purring loudly. It's strange that it managed to stay alive. During times of hunger, cats and dogs vanished from the city streets. Then the neighbor's son stepped out onto the street. "Mommy, a kitten! Can I have it, please?" Our hearts stopped in our chest. A sniper is going to have a lock on him in seconds. Oh boy. We opened the door and tried to scare the kid away. Choose one character and see 1740. Or, none of our business. Oh boy. Oh man, so now we've got a kid who wants to run after a cat, and we see a sniper. I mean, oh my god, can we really let this kid get shot? No, of course not. I mean, come on. Ugh. Okay, so choose one character and see 1740. Oh boy. Now, I'm not sure which character to choose here. I mean, we're trying to scare the kid away. Is it gonna be, you know, is prowess gonna help us? Because prowess can help us reroll die, but it's only in combat usually. And empathy? Wow, I don't know. I mean, we are helping the kid, so I guess we're empathetic right now. Oh my god. I don't know. Who's gonna do it? Who's gonna do it? Okay, I'm just gonna go with what I know of the game, okay? Prowess is used for combat. And I don't think this has anything to do with combat, right? So I'm gonna go with empathy. I guess if you're super empathetic, maybe this situation will go better, I guess. Oh man. Or I go like half and half. Like he's got 6 and 1. Okay, let's do it. Let's Pavel. All right, so Pavel is gonna do it. I'm choosing him. He's gonna try and scare the kid away. All right, right here, 1740. A few blunt words shouted at him were sufficient to get the boy to hide behind the door. A moment later, his mother showed up and thanked us for what we did, showing her appreciation with a simple nod. We felt that we did something good, even though we did so little. We probably saved the kid's life. Lower this character's misery by 1. Okay, good. Okay. Well, that's a good decision actually, because, yeah, that turned out well, because if I had chosen Anton, he doesn't have any misery. So actually Pavel gets to reduce his misery by 1, because he's feeling pretty good about not letting a kid get shot. Good for you, Pavel. So right now we're ready to move on to the day phase, and we can take some actions. Now if we just look quickly here at what we have as far as the situation. So Marin can take 2 actions, Emilia can take only 1, Pavel can take 2, and Anton can only take 1. Okay, so that's not a whole lot. So let's see what we can do with our characters. Okay, I've thought about this. So first, well, not first, everything happens simultaneously. So we will be sending Anton to take a nap to reduce his fatigue, and you'll see why in a bit. We will be sending Pavel to build a chair. So we'll trace a path here, and let's say we'll build the chair right over here. Now this was already in our fittings pile, okay? We took the have a new idea in the first round, and now we can actually build this. So we'll put this here, build a chair. This requires 1 component and 2 wood, and we've got that. Next, we will send Marin to do the pokeabout action, because he's very good at doing that. And last but not least here, Emilia will go and search the furniture. Alright, so let's resolve all of this. So let's build the chair right now. Now when you craft the chair, it says here, when you craft it for the first time, lower all characters' misery by 1. That's why I'm building that. And then the chair will enable us to actually take a sort of a rest action to lower our misery. So let's go lower everybody's misery by 1. Alright, so here we go. 1, 1. Okay, these guys up top are good. So I'm having Anton take a nap, and it says here lower the fatigue of the character placed here by 2. So I will do that, because if we look at his stats here, when we lower this by 2, he now has 2 actions instead of just 1. Whereas with this, he had just 1 action. So he's gonna have 1 more action that he can do this round. And while we're at it, let's just spin these die here to remember that everybody took 1, okay? So she's taking 1, he's taking 1, and here we go. All right, then we wanted to have Emilia search the furniture, so she'll just do that. And we, oh, nice, nice. So we gain 1 raw food, 1 mechanical part, 1 sugar, and 1 wood. Okay, so let's go get that. So here this is. Now I'm not going to put this in supply right away because we don't have access to it. Like if anybody would have needed some of this stuff to build something, we don't have access to it right now. It's only at the end of the action. And next we actually wanted Marin to do some pokeabout. And Marin is pretty good at pokeabout because he can actually add 3 to the result of his die. So let's roll for that. And here we go. Oh wow, did not even need that. Okay, so we can get a combination of 4 wood and components. Wow. And what I'm going to choose to get is actually 4 components. Now, I don't have a lot of wood, but in fact, I do. Because I've got 5 here. So I could trade this in for 5 more wood. And you know what? I think I'm going to do this right now. So I'm going to get 5 wood out of the box and put this back in the box. Alright, so let's clean up here. So all of this can go down here. Put the characters in the middle, get rid of that. And now we're ready for the second action phase. Okay, so currently these 3 guys can take actions and she cannot because she has too many black pips here on her states. So what I will be doing is I will send Pavel to build a workshop. So I'm going to go get this from the fittings deck. So I'll put a workshop right here. He's going to try and build that. Well, he's going to succeed actually. This requires 3 wood and a mechanical part, and we found that while we were scavenging, so that's very good. We will then send Marin to deal with this rubble here with a shovel. And next we will send Anton here to make a fire with 2 wood. Okay, so let's resolve everything simultaneously. So for each 2 wood, we can discard 1 coal token. Well, actually, I could put 2 more here to get rid of our 2 coal tokens up there. I mean, yeah, why not? We're not going to build anything else this round because these are our last actions. So you know what? I'm going to do this. So I'm going to make a big fire, discard 2 wood to discard 1 coal token twice. So I'll go up top here. I will discard this. All right, so it's pretty warm in the house. That's good. Okay, so that's done. Put this back in the box. Next, he's gonna build a workshop with all of this good stuff, also back in the box. So when we build a workshop here, we have a lot of different actions that we can take. Let's look at those. Now, one thing I should note is, even though there are like 4 action spots, you can't send more than 1 person to do 1 thing at a time, which is, I know, a bummer, okay? But here's what you can do on the workshop. You can make board ups. So you'll spend a lot of components and wood to put these board up tokens on the holes in the house, and that will actually stop you from getting cold, but it'll also stop the bad guys from coming in during the night raids. I say stop them. It'll limit the damage that they can do. Okay. Next, you can make parts. So you can spend some components to build mechanical parts or electrical parts, which are, you know, these things right here. But honestly, I always find those while scavenging, so I don't think I'm going to do that ever. Next, you can make a filter. You could also find that while scavenging, but if you really need one, you can make one, and you would need a filter if you're building, let's say, a water collector. That's another fitting that you could build, and you'll need a filter to build it. And next, you could repair a guitar. What's that about? Well, apparently, somewhere in this game, there is a broken guitar, and you could repair it. And I believe there are like 2 characters in the whole game that have a spirit A, B, or C ability where it says, if you have a functioning guitar, raise everybody's morale, like they can sing songs and people feel good or whatever. But to this day, I've never found a guitar to repair. So there you go. I've actually made this to make board ups later on because I want to patch up the house, okay? All right, so that's done. Next, we'll move on to Marin, who is just digging the first step of this rubble. And here we go, more rubble. Okay. And of course, as you know, we'll have to do this again to just clear that space to eventually get to the heap. Okay, so if we look at everything here, he has taken a second action, and so is he, and so is he. And she could only take 1 action because, again, too many of those black pips. So we will now move on to the Dusk Phase, which is, you know, having our characters drink and eat. So as far as drinking water goes, we had 4 water in our inventory, so everybody's going to drink. So we'll get that back in the box. Now, as you know, if you don't drink, your character will either get hungry or miserable. And next we go on to the feeding. So what I'm gonna do is I will give this guy a raw food because he doesn't like to be hungry, if you see right here, okay? If he gets hungry, he can get ill. So let's feed him for sure. And then we pretty much don't have a choice. We have to feed Pavel here because if we let him go to hunger 4, he's going to die of starvation, which is pretty horrible. So yeah, so that's what I'm gonna do. So as you know, raw food drops your hunger down by 1. So let's do that right now. And then the raw food is discarded. And now these 2 down here will get hungry. So he's gonna raise to level 3, which is bad. And so will Emilia. So we're really gonna need to get some food in our next scavenging. Next comes the evening phase, and in the evening phase we have to decide who will stay to guard the house, who will come scavenge, and who will rest, you know, on the floor or in a bed, if any. Now, the reason you would want to rest is to get rid of fatigue. Like if somebody's at level 3, maybe you'd want them to sleep a little bit. That way, you know, they can do more stuff later on. And if they're actually at level 4, they have to sleep, okay? But that's not the situation right now. Right now, what we need to do is protect the house and go scavenge. And I think I'm gonna do exactly the same thing as before. So I believe Marin will stay to protect the house, and these 3 will go scavenge. So that will give me, you know, someone who's got a reroll, a prowess of 1, if ever he needs to fight. But I'm pretty confident that he won't. Well, I mean, I hope that he won't, because we have the Vigilant Watch here, and we can reduce damage and wounds and all that. So he's going to be staying here with this card, which is pretty good. And then we'll have an inventory of 10 to go scavenge. So let's give everybody fatigue, because whenever they protect the house or they scavenge, the fatigue will rise, okay? All right, so let's go see where we want to scavenge. All right, well, we're gonna go to the city hospital for sure, okay? Because we can get the opportunity to trade or heal. So everybody's gonna go there. It's a very far, okay? It's a very far location, so we're only gonna get 10 of the exploration cards, which is a bummer, but again, I'm really doing it because I want to trade, actually. And now we can bring some stuff with us, and I will do that because I want to trade. Now, I'm going to bring basically everything that doesn't have a weight on it, okay? And this is a way to mitigate the night raids, because when somebody comes in, they can't steal the stuff that isn't there, right? So just bring everything with you when you go out scavenging. Of course, you have to be careful of not bringing things that weigh you down too much, like this, because this still counts as your weight limit. So if you bring a lot of weighty stuff with you, and at the end of the scavenging phase you want to bring it back, well, that stuff is going to weigh you down, literally. And we're not really going to need it, but I will bring my shovel because I would hate to have that thing stolen from me. I say we won't need it because we can see here what's in this location. And right now there's a closed door. We're going to need a lockpick if we, get to that. Basement entrance is just a time waster. We don't need anything to go in it. And then bars, you would actually need a saw blade, and we don't have that. If it would have said rubble, well then this would have been useful for rubble, but there isn't. But again, as I said, I'm bringing it just because I don't want it to get stolen. Alright, so we are now at the hospital. I'm going to bring the card down here and create the exploration deck. So here we go, we are shuffling the exploration deck, and let's put 10 cards in the unknown deck. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Okay. And, well, now we could start exploring right away, or we could return 4 exploration cards to heal, or return 6 to trade, or return 2 cards to have a look around. Now, honestly, I like to look around because I like flavor text and all that, but I need food, I need meds, I need a whole bunch of stuff. So you know what? I'm gonna trade. Yeah, I'm gonna trade. So let's return 6 cards out of 10. So this just means that we're taking a whole lot of time to go trade with some people in a city hospital. So let's go read 303. Alright, way at the bottom here, 303. In the ruined buildings scattered around the hospital, something that resembles a marketplace has come into existence. While it's difficult to find weapons or any equipment here, you're sure to be able to buy stolen medicine or food. That is, as long as you have anything of value to trade for them. And then up top here it says, you may buy any green and yellow tokens here. See journal trade sheet, we won't do that because we know how to trade. And the trade commission is 2. Back to game. Okay, trade commission 2 basically means that you're gonna have to pay 2 and then you can start trading for stuff. So you basically have 2 trade points that are just like lost. So let's see what we brought with us and how much it's worth. All right, well, let's start with trade commission 2. Okay, so this means 1, 2. This stuff, let's say, is lost. Okay. All right, so what do we have that we really want to trade? I don't want to trade my shovel, so I'm not going to count that. I want to keep at least 1 lockpick, but I think no, I want to keep the meds. Hello. Okay, but I think all of this would be up for grabs. So in here we've got 16 plus 4 is 20, 25, 28. Okay, 28. That's not too bad actually. So the game says that we can trade any yellow or green tokens. Now yellow tokens are meds and bandages, and green tokens are everything that resembles food. And that's exactly what we need, and that's the reason why I'm doing this, because we've got some hungry people and we have a wounded Emilia. So for 28, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get bandages for 10, a raw food for 10, and a vegetable for 5. Just so you guys know, vegetable will, when it's time to feed your people, vegetable will just keep them as is. Okay, they won't go down, won't go up, just keep them as is. All right, so actually, let's do, okay, so 25, so that would be trade commission 2, and then 25, and I still have 3 here. I mean, I could keep the sugar, but honestly, I don't want it. And as far as green or yellow tokens that are worth, oh, actually, I could go get some coffee. Yes, let's do that, because we have a lot of coffee drinkers. So I could get me 3 of these coffee, because coffee's only worth 1 and sugar's worth 3. So yeah, that's actually very good. Now I am kind of bummed out to get rid of my lockpick, but I do have another one. So yeah, I think this is a pretty good deal. Okay, so let's do a little bit of cleanup here. So all of this stuff is gonna go, and this is the stuff that we have in our findings pile. All of this good stuff right here. Now I've had a little think about this, and I'm like, why am I getting bandages if I can just go and heal someone, right? So I actually checked here at 9:32. This is not a spoiler because you're going to learn this as you play the game, but we need to return 4 exploration cards, which, you know, we have, in order to heal. But then when you go read the text, it says if you want to heal someone, you need to discard 2 more exploration cards, and we don't have that. So doing this would serve no purpose, and that's why I'm not doing it right now. So, knowing that, let's go back to exploring, because we still have 4 exploration cards that we can flip over. Now, we don't have to flip these cards over, we could just leave, okay, if we don't want to chance anything. But I mean, right now, the noise is so low, we're still at 1, so yeah, I'm feeling pretty good. Famous last words. There we go. Tough luck, roll for noise. Okay, well, noise is at 1, so unless we roll a 1, we're fine. And then I roll a 1. Whew. Okay, it's a 3. Okay, we're good. Let's keep going. Open space. We do not have open space here, so we actually just replace this with a brand new card. And it says closed door, and we do have a closed door. So if there is a closed door, you may resolve this card immediately or place it next to the exploration spot, yada yada yada. So we deal with this now or we deal with it later. Let's say we deal with it now. What would happen? We'd need a lockpick, which we do have. Then we return one exploration card and roll the black die. And on a 5 to 10, we discard the lockpick and open the door. Okay. And then after opening, we add 5 cards to this deck and we look at the furniture chart. I mean, why not? I mean, what else could be in this deck? So, yeah, let's do it. Okay, so return one exploration card, and now we have to roll 5 or more. If we don't, well, nothing happens, and we just kind of lost some time. So, let's do it. 5 or more. Bada boom! I keep, you guys, if you've seen part 1, like round 1, I keep rolling 7s. I don't know what's going on with me. Okay, so this has worked. So we will discard the lockpick because again, you're kind of like breaking the lockpick as you successfully open the door. And we will add 5 cards to the exploration deck. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I meant the unknown deck. So here we go. And then it says draw and resolve 1 findings card in the furniture chart. And then we discard this card. So let's do it. Okay, so furniture chart. And then the furniture chart, it says electrical, mechanical, and herb. Okay. Then we need to roll the die to see what we find in the special findings, if anything. Whoa, that's a 9. Meds, wow. Okay, that's pretty good. Because, I mean, nobody's ill right now, but if anything, meds are worth 10 when you trade. That was pretty good, you guys. Okay, and yeah, we can keep going because now we have more exploration cards in here. So let's do it. Okay, we found a door. We can peek through the keyhole. Return 1 exploration card to look at the next card from the unknown deck. Or we just plainly enter and we raise the noise by 1 or roll the noise. I mean, we can roll for noise. We have 1 up here, so let's do it. Yeah, that almost could have been a 1. Okay, so we're good. So we're entering. Let's do it. And we've got rubble, but we do not have rubble. So we'll replace this with something else. Okay, it's a hiding place. We can return 2 exploration cards to place it on the exploration slot and use it anytime during the scavenging phase. So after rolling for noise, we can discard the card to ignore the encounter, or we can backstab someone. So we put this on the side, and if ever we are instructed to meet a resident, we can just say, nuh-uh, we were hidden. Or, nuh-uh, we're stabbing them. But that would be in combat only, and we won't have combat. I don't think so. So let's keep going. Wow, another one of those. So let's just roll for noise again, because we're at 1. Oh, look at that, it's a 1! Okay, well, we're gonna meet someone, but, you know, we've got the hiding place, which is pretty lucky. So let's shuffle that up. There's a lot of people in this deck. Because we put two of these worse cards in there in the last round. So let's draw, and we have met rebels. Okay. Determine the number of rebels encountered. Okay, so we would roll a die. We either meet 1, 2, or 3 rebels. We draw some tokens for them, and they would be armed with, oh wow, all depending on what you draw, they could be armed with a knife, a pistol, or a shotgun. And it says rebels are offering you some items. They have 1 moonshine and 1 cigarette to exchange. Trade commission 2. Okay. If you do not trade, something happens. If you trade, you may return 1 exploration card to talk with them or trade with them. So we're not necessarily fighting these guys. I mean, unless some of the flavor text tells us that, oh, they're unhappy with the trade or something. But look, in either case, I have a hiding place. So I have seen the rebels, but I have hidden away. It actually says do not draw the residence card, like just ignore the encounter, but I wanted to show you at least 1. So we'll just shuffle it back in the deck and we will ignore the encounter because we were cleverly hidden. Okay, that turned out good. Okay, so we can still keep going, so let's do that. Alright, we may ignore this card or search the heap. And to do so, we return 2 exploration cards and raise the noise by 1. Yeah, we can do that. Or raise the noise by 1 and roll for noise. Again, I'm not a huge fan of the heap, but Why not? Let's just do it. So let's just roll for noise. Actually, raise it by 1 and roll for noise. So raise it by 1, roll for noise. You guys. Okay, I'm just going to push it here because you don't see what it is. It seems like a 2, but it's actually another 7. Man, if this was a casino, I guess I'd be lucky. Is there a game that you actually roll 7? I don't think so. Okay, so noise is fine, and then we'll go to the findings deck. So let's shuffle this one back in the deck, actually. Okay, and we've got, in the heap, we've got mechanical part, again, chems and roll the die. So here we go, another mechanical part, some chems, and let's roll the die on the special findings chart. And that is a 3, and it's nothing. Okay, so you know what? There's only 2 cards left, and I don't think I'm gonna chance it because the noise is at 2. I don't know. I feel like we're pretty lucky so far. Okay, so let's just end the exploration. Actually, I think you have to draw and then end the exploration because it says at the bottom here. Yeah, I think so. So let's just draw one. All right, so we can search the heap or end exploration, and we will do that. All right, exploration over. So let's go up to the findings pile. I'll bring all of this stuff up there, and let's see what we're bringing back actually. All right, so the location goes back here. We'll drop the noise. All right, so we can bring back an inventory of 10 as far as weight goes. So all of this stuff down here weighs nothing. We'll bring all of this stuff back for sure. And then we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 out of 10, which is not a lot, and that's good. Now, one thing I do want to bring back is water, because again, we haven't found anything in the house that gives us water, and we haven't built our rainwater collector. So for sure, I am bringing back 4 water. So there we go, 1, 2, 3, 4. So right now we've got a weight value of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We could bring back some more wood, some more components. So actually what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring back 3 wood, okay, because I want to build something, build a fitting in the next turn, in the next round. So I'm going to need some wood, and I'm not sure I'm going to actually find any. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and I'm going to do 8, and then either 9, 10 or 9, 10. And actually in our inventory, we already have 1 of each. Now, I mean, bad guys could come and some of this stuff could get stolen, but I think I'm going to be needing mechanical more than electrical. So yeah, so let's do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, so let's get rid of the electrical part. We'll leave it on the hospital. Yeah, so this is all the stuff that we're going to be bringing back. But now, as this is going on, we have the Night Raids phase. Let's see what Marin is dealing with. Okay, now the good thing with Marin here is he's got the Vigilant Watch, which will reduce the number of wounds and damage that the bad guys can do to us. So let's go in this deck and shuffle, and let's get a Night Raids card. All right, here we go. All right, it's another reality impact. This happened to us in the first round of the game. Fine, I mean, nobody's gonna beat us up, right? And actually, if we don't play this card, we can keep it. It says remove from the game after playing this card, so that's going to be with us in the next round, which is awesome. But let's not be too quick to get all happy, because this could still be some bad stuff. Alright, so it says draw a card from the colors deck, so let's do that. And we get green. Okay, so then we go to the Night Raids deck, and we flip over the next card, and it says here green 3, 5, 7. Okay, so let's check in the book for 3, 5, 7. Okay, 3, 5, 7. Let's not waste too much time wondering whom we should be thanking for this peaceful night. The peacekeeping forces? Yesterday's reopened talks? Or maybe the food drops? It doesn't matter. We've now got the chance to catch up on some work and better prepare for the coming days. The end of the war must be near. We just have to wait. Each of the characters on the guard space may now perform additional actions, up to 3 regardless of black dots on their state tokens. As if it were the day actions phase. You cannot perform an outside action. Whoa, 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 whoa. Okay, hold on. Okay, so Marin may now perform additional actions. Oh, wow. Okay, so right now, during the Night Watch phase, he gets to do 3 actions. Am I right? I mean, that's how I understand it. And it says regardless of their black dots. Whoa. But he cannot do an outside action. I guess because nighttime outside is dangerous and all that. Wow, okay, so I'm gonna have to think about this because he's got some free stuff that he can do. Okay, I've thought about this and I would like him to be able to maybe craft a fitting, but in order to do that, we would need some more resources, and right now, resources are pretty scarce, okay? The only thing we have are these 6 fittings, a mechanical part, and electrical part, so I'm gonna have Marin do the pokeabout action first as his first action. So let's roll the die, and let's not forget he can add 3 to the result. Wow, okay, that's perfect. So we can get wood and components. I think we're gonna go all out for the wood. Actually, let me backtrack this. So actually I'm gonna get 2 wood and 2 components. Okay, second action, I think I'll have him build a filter, because I would like to eventually build a rainwater collector, and I do need a filter to do that. So let's send him at the workshop. So at the workshop, to make filters, for each 1 component, you make 1 filter. So right now I don't see a need to make more, so I'll just make 1. So this goes into the supply. And then his third action could actually be to build the rainwater collector, and I think that's what's gonna happen. So I still have some free space here, so I'll put a rainwater collector here, and this requires 1 filter, 1 mechanical part that we had in our supply, 2 wood, and 5 components. Here we go. So all of this stuff is gone, and now we have a rainwater collector, and this eventually will help us to get water. Instead of having to drag some back every time, we'll be able to send someone here to do the collect water action. So we'll place a wait token. Wait tokens resolve only during the fate phase of the game, if you will. And then you roll a die, and whatever you roll will get you some water. It's not, a crazy amount, but it still helps. Okay, so all in all, that was an awesome Night Raids phase, okay? This... I kind of hate that this is going on right now, because this feels staged. Like, oh, you're just, you're drawing the easy cards, or... I'm not, okay? And please be aware that your experience will vary. Okay, you will have extremely harsh and horrible games of this. I'm getting lucky, that's all. I'm just getting lucky. I'm almost sorry that I'm getting lucky, but also, I'm not. Okay, so that was like part 1 of the Night Raids phase. Next, what we need to do is go to these 2 decks, where we have these exclamation marks here, and we need to add 2 cards to the decks, so either 1 of each, or 2 of that one, 2 of that one. And I think I'm gonna do the same thing. I mean, I've got only 2 residents left, so I'll do that. I'll put the residents, these new residents, in the residents deck, and I will add no cards to the Night Raids deck, because again, I like me some easy Night Raids. Alright, so everybody has come back to the house. Here we have all our stuff, which is incredible. Yeah, basically all of this stuff, well, all of this is new. I've put the Vigilant Watch down here for later use. So everybody comes back, we're all happy campers. Next, we can assign meds or bandages to people in the group, and we will do that because Emilia is still wounded. So we will put some bandages on Emilia. So we'll put our bandages on Emilia, and then we have to wait for Fate to basically heal her. Okay, this does not guarantee she's gonna heal. Speaking of Fate, we're at this phase right now, so let's go up to the top here and grab a Fate card. So you shuffle that up. Hopefully your Fate will smile down upon you. And here we go. So let's put that here. So this says, raise the illness of all ill characters who did not take any meds by 1, but we don't have any ill characters, so that's good. Then it says, heal the wounds of all characters who had bandages by 1. Yes! And then discard bandages from all characters. Okay, so, man, we got extremely lucky. I think there's 2 in the game like that. Okay, so this goes like so. She's still wounded, but, less. Discard this. Then, if cold tokens minus board ups equals 5 or more, well, no. Because if you remember correctly, because of our heater, we got rid of all the cold tokens. And that's nice. Then it says, exchange the nearest medium location. If there is none, exchange the nearest large location. And that's actually what's going to happen because we don't have a medium location. We have only a large one, and it's actually the hospital. Oh, that's too bad. So the hospital, and it had that token, that's going away. All of this is going away. And we'll replace it with, let me draw up here, a block of ruined flats. So we'll put that up top. Next it says resolve all weight tokens, and we don't have any of those. And then of course resolve Spirit A, because as you know by now, Spirit A is what resolves the most often. So we'll shuffle that back in the deck. So Spirit A, here it's no effect. Here it's bad habit, discard 1 coffee from the storage or raise her misery by 1. But We got some coffee, so that's okay. Here it's the same thing, discard 1 coffee or erase his misery, but we do have coffee. And next it says here, if there is at least 1 book in the storage, we don't have that, lower his misery by 1, but he's okay. Alright, that's actually very good. Okay, very happy about that. Next in the Dawn phase we go to the narrative actions, so we shuffle that up, draw 2, and keep 1. So first one we get here is Close Call. Play during any combat. Ignore all wounds from a single combat roll. Okay, that's not about the night raids, that's like when somebody actually fights you if you meet a resident or something like that. Or play during the night raid phase to ignore all wounds from 1 night raid card. Oh, well that's very good. Hey, this and Vigilant Watch, that would make us like super protected. I might keep that. And the other one here is Night Owl. Play at the beginning of the evening phase. Choose 1 character. This character may now perform all their actions again. Wow, this is pretty similar to what we got with Marin. Huh. I mean, this is awesome. I might do that. Because we already have the Vigilant Watch, which, you know, protects us. This is nice, because actions is what you want in this game, so I'm keeping that. We'll discard the other one, shuffle it back in the deck, and we're keeping this. Oh yes. So that was the Dawn phase. Let's move on to round 3 and the morning phase. You guys, I gotta say, things are going ridiculously well, okay? When I started this playthrough, I was, because you saw I had a lot of misery, a lot of hunger. I thought to myself, wow, this is gonna be the shortest playthrough in the history of playthroughs. But things have been going our way, and that's pretty awesome. Again, I am not, I don't want to say cheating, but sometimes when you do these playthroughs, you do some creative, creative editing, and you redo some die rolls and stuff like that, and I am not doing that. That is a promise. You've seen me roll 7s like a crazy person, okay? You can't make this stuff up. So, well, I mean, you could, but... Alright, so we are done with round 2. We're moving on to the morning phase, so we have to draw a new event. If you've enjoyed this video, please consider hitting the like button down below. Now, I know it seems like a very small thing to do, but it actually does help the channel when you do that. And if ever you should find yourself in a super generous mood, well, I do accept donations via PayPal. And anything you give, big or small, will help keep me going.
The front line is anyone's home.